So if you want us to service your equipment, give us a call. But if you're the fix-it-yourself kind of person, we'll enjoy your funny video clips.
Is your bathroom looking old and worn out? Want to update it, but you don't know where to start? Then let VCI Bath & Shower show you how to turn that old bath into an aisle of beauty and functionality. Our residential bathroom solutions provide the best value on the market, and our customer service is second to none. Our cost-effective VCI Bath & Shower family of products has what you need.
Remodeling our bathroom was a big decision for us.
They didn't make a mess out of our house at all. And at the end of the day, we had a beautiful new bathroom. And it was a great experience the whole way through.
We have the best monthly payment programs in the industry, with payments as low as $68 per month or no interest, no payments for 18 months. For a limited time, be one of the first 100 callers who schedule a free in-home consultation and receive $500 off.
1-800-908-7527. That's 1-800-908-7527.
Factory trained and certified installers made in the USA, and discounts for seniors and military. VCI Bath & Shower, the leader in affordable bathroom products.
Up North at 4 with Nate and Jeff starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Nate Myhock, and welcome to Up North at 4. Today on the show, we'll look ahead to Earth Day and learn about the upcoming fair with Nicolet College. Plus, Buffy gives us a new recipe from her Northwoods kitchen. We'll get to all that in a bit, but first, here's your top 4 at 4. Traveling can be both a blessing and a curse. We all love to see new places, but I don't know a single person who enjoys booking flights and accommodations. So what if we just combine them? John Kotwicki has commissioned an old Boeing 727 into a new place to rest your head. Kotwicki helps run an aviation training school in Alaska, and a lot of students travel long distances to attend class. So Kotwicki decided to use this downed bird as a home away from home. The old cargo plane will be renovated into student housing and will also be available on a popular lodging app, which will be putting the air in Airbnb. Hopping about the Citrus Heights area, a four-legged, two-eared menace has taken over the California countryside. Of course, I'm talking about rabbits. The Only Sunshine Sanctuary has been busy collecting abandoned pet rabbits from the park. And so far, they say they've rescued over 90 bunnies. And when you have that many leaping mammals in one spot, they tend to do some damage, digging holes underneath the community center for one. In case you were wondering why the rabbit takeover began with, well, many activists believe that many folks don't have the time or the ability to care for these pets, and many local animal shelters don't accept bunnies, so they leave them in a spot where they've already seen rabbits. Thus, the cycle continues and also grows our ongoing rabbit menace. Luckily, the rabbits have yet to figure out human technology, unlike this squirrel. Clover is a favorite on the UC Berkeley campus. Students in the microbiology lab noticed the squirrel coming to their window ledge and would feed him almonds. Eventually, in a move that would make Ivan Pavlov smile, they taught him how to ring a bell. In return, Clover received a treat. And now he stops by to receive a snack nearly every day, and also confuses professors and students alike who are sure they're hallucinating this bell-ringing rodent. But we swear he is real. You know, the Porcupine Mountains, it is beauty in the upper Midwest. You got the rolling hills, the lush greenery, and apparently it's a great spot to lose the swimsuit. A recent study done by a dating advice website listed the top skinny dipping spots in the world. Coming in at number 3 in the U.S., the Porcupine Mountains. Apparently, the Porkies rated highly in the categories that included beach quality, safety, and weather, among others. Now, I've had to really tone back the amount of jokes I wanted to say while writing this story, but on the good thing, my rewrite of the Seinfeld pool bit is coming together quite well. Chief Meteorologist Jeff Weller joining us now. Jeff, I feel like you've taken a lot of trips to the Porcupines lately. Any reason
He
there?
asked me earlier, what can I say regarding this? And I'm like,
nervous.
Keep it back a little bit. All right, so here we go. So let's talk here. This map right here. We've been waiting a long time for this, right? So this is the average temperature, not this week, but next week will be above average in the Great Lakes, the Midwest, and the South as well. This could firmly plant us in the 60s through much of next week, if not beyond, and we're looking forward to that. Aren't we today, though? Lots of clouds, lots of fog, lots of drizzle, lots of freezing drizzle. But now the cloud deck is raising up just a bit now, and we're going to have some partly cloudy skies for a few hours tonight, and then return some light snow showers across the area tomorrow morning. Temperatures right now, well below average. Again, the average high is 45, 46, 47. Nowhere near that today. We're at 34 currently in Rhinelander, 35 for Inigo, 38 for Wausau. So let's get rid of this, and that is on the going forward now. Look at this. So 32 tomorrow, we'll take it, right? 40 though for Friday, and then look, mid 40s for Saturday, and those are 50s Sunday, and those are 60s Tuesday and Wednesday. And once they get here, they're likely to stick around for a little bit. So it's going to be a really nice weather pattern for us by the middle portions of next week. For tonight, though, we're getting a little bit of clear skies out there now. It's not going to last long. The backside of this big upper level low is going to swing through this evening. That will give us a chance for some light snow showers. Now, again, we need about 3 or 4 inches to break the snowfall record for the year. Likely not going to get that with this system tonight or tomorrow, although there could be an inch or two of snow across the region as this whole thing kind of swings through this evening in through and throughout the day tomorrow. Most of it will likely be drizzle. We could see maybe a little bit of drizzle tonight and tomorrow, but there could be a little bit of snow in here, and that snow map looks something like this. And again, this could give us an inch or two of snow. Most likely not, though, north of Highway 8 into throughout the day on Thursday. Our forecast then for tonight, though, is cloudy skies, partly cloudy skies, some drizzle out there with low temperatures near 20. Your full forecast at 5 o'clock.
Weather Watch 12 with Devin Biggs, 5 to 7 a.m.
Come to Carpet City Flooring Center's biggest sale ever and get free carpet installation on any area of your home, one room, or your entire house. Only at Carpet City Flooring Center's biggest sale.
Our prices will floor you.
I got a call from some scammer who had the nerve to ask for my Medicare number. I was not born yesterday.
When someone asked for my Medicare number in a text, I knew it was a scam. Nice catch.
And your mother knew it wasn't a real email.
Go, Mom.
I don't share my Medicare number with strangers.
If you get a call, text, or email asking for your Medicare or personal information,
delete.
Shut it down.
Nope.
Learn more at Medicare.gov/fraud.
Oh, boy, would you look at that field goal he kicked right there? That looks fantastic. Boy, it looks like you need to stop at Tomahawk Furniture and Guns. Furniture and guns? Now, they've got everything you need at great prices. Recliners, sofas, mattresses, and guns.
Get 11% off everything at Menards. Protect your vehicle's outdoor equipment and more with Shelter Logic storage products. Both our garages and sheds can be assembled quickly to block harmful UV rays while protecting your investments. And you'll be sure to enjoy your backyard get-togethers, rain or shine, with a Shelter Logic canopy. Large or small, we carry a storage solution to meet your needs. Right now, a 6-leg gazebo canopy is just $99.99 after 11% rebate at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Come to Carpet City Flooring Center's biggest sale ever and save $300, $600, or even $1,000 on your hard surface flooring purchase. Only at Carpet City Flooring Center's biggest sale.
Our prices will floor you.
You're watching NBC 12 from where you live.
Welcome on back to Up North at 4. Joining us now, it's Patrick Burns from Nicolet College, and in just a few weeks, the annual Earth Day Sustainability Fair will be taking place at Nicolet College. And Patrick, as a member of the co-chair, you kind of know everything about this. You've got your hands in the planning process, and every year there's a theme for the Earth Day Fair. What's the theme this year?
So the theme this year has to do with water. So no blue, no green is the theme because water, it's kind of important. So that's the focus of our speakers this year is around water-related topics. So as you can imagine, there's a lot of different things we can talk about with water. You know, PFAS will be a topic of conversation, as well as shoreline stewardship. So we have a lot of different kind of looks at the topic of water.
Now, sorry, I don't want to interrupt you, Jeff, but you said no blue, no green. Is that correct? What does that mean?
Right. So the connection between, you know, you think of Earth Day, you think of, you know, green things,
right? Yeah.
Plants, but water actually sustains a lot of the, you know, the growth and the things that are green have to do with water.
Okay.
Well, let's go back in time a bit because Gaylord Nelson, Wisconsin senator back in 1970, has its roots with Earth Day in Wisconsin. He, you know, back then there was no EPA, no Environmental Protection Agency, no water rights, and then Earth Day kind of blossomed from there, right? And now here we are, how many years later, talking about and still keeping the sustainability thing going, right? And that's important to Nicolay and important to you. How come?
Yeah, I think the Wisconsin connection is really important, and that's why we've always felt that we wanted to have an event on Earth Day. So each year we celebrate on April 22nd, and we've been really excited to be back at Nicolay College. So we've been running the event for about over a decade now. And so making sure that we're always having that celebration and also educational opportunities because of that Wisconsin connection.
I think you hit that perfectly. It's not just about, it's a celebration, yes, we're celebrating the Earth, right? But there is an educational factor here where there's so much to learn about the resources of the Earth, and not everybody gets it, right? Not everybody gets it or doesn't know how to get better at it, right? The sustainability thing. So I love the education piece of this that Nicolay is doing. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm curious, too, because you mentioned this has been going on for about a decade now. And I was thinking back, like, all right, 10 years ago for myself, when I thought of sustainability, it was like, okay, I'll not use plastic silverware for when I'm eating lunch.
Straws,
what have you. But I feel like now, as we've kind of learned more and you see kind of what the studies are that are coming out, there's a lot more to it. And is that kind of the case then for you as well, as you've kind of learned over the past few years? Like, there's a lot more that we can do, not only personally, but just as a community as a whole, to kind of go more green or more blue, I guess, in the case of water this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's where our partnership with the Northwoods Community Garden has really been a growth and learning opportunity for us, because, you know, that's one of the things that really can be a good way that someone could practice more sustainability in a lot of different ways. Growing your own food is a good practice in that regard. So providing that opportunity through the garden, and then also having that really strong garden presence at the fair, because that's going to be something we're really excited to highlight the garden a little bit more at the fair this year.
Yeah, my co-anchor Dan and I have had a plot at the garden for several years now, and it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger every year, right? And it's seriously a place you can go. That it's in the big field out front of Nicolay, and there's just, you know, 80 plots I think there are now, and everybody takes care of their own plot and talks about sustainability. Like, it really is an educational just being there, right? So that's really cool. And then also, you know, with Earth Day coming up here, you know, Nicolay kind of leads the forefront, you know, or kind of keeps the conversation top of mind. And but they don't just speak it, they do it, right? There's things going on at Nicolay that you help conserve energy as well. Am I correct?
Yeah, I mean, whenever we're from all phases, right? From the individual actions and some of the practices, such as our culinary department, making sure we're running a compost, to the connection with the Northwoods Community Garden, to making sure that we have high efficiency in our buildings when we're doing any sort of planning and rebuilding. You know, it kind of comes in a lot of different directions.
It shows.
It does. All right, Patrick, I got some more questions I want to ask you about the fair itself, and also kind of how Jeff and I could shrink our carbon footprint.
Not good results.
Not great results for us. But we'll take a quick break on Up North at 4. We'll be right back after this.
We took a test.
NBC News Watch 12. News from where you live.
My knees started to hurt. It got so bad I couldn't walk very far. When I came in for my first consultation, he told me he'd get me back. They treated me well, and they came through on their promises.
Many people are told they need a new hip or knee because they're bone on bone. But if there's just a sliver of cartilage left, we can help.
It's a whole lot better than it was when I started this program.
Call 844-200-PAIN to schedule your no-cost consultation.
Is a new roof on your spring to-do list? Hi, I'm Paul, owner of Overhead Solutions. Now is a great time to think ahead and secure a spot for that replacement on our schedule. Go ahead and call our competitors, but before you sign on that dotted line, call Overhead Solutions. I believe our high quality and fair price can beat our competition.
Call Overhead Solutions for a free roof estimate.
Remember, don't overpay. Call Overhead. Overhead Solutions.
Hope, where are you hiding? I search for you in the seconds, the minutes of each and every day. Hear me as I call out to you. Welcome me home. Alone we stood, divided we fell. No longer. Now we choose to make the connection. Our new mission lies within. Visit maketheconnection.net to learn more.
I absolutely feel that Tiger Lily is getting a great education with RVA. She is challenged and she's not bored. She enjoys her classwork.
I love the teachers. The teachers are the best part. My teachers are very friendly and they're easy to reach out to when I need help with the assignments. The teachers are always there when you need help.
What I love about RVA is the flexibility, first. But second is that Tiger Lily is so happy with this school, with her teachers, and with what she's learning. It's awesome.
Weather Watch 12 with Devin Biggs, 5 to 7 a.m.
Welcome back to Up North at 4. We're joined by Patrick Burns with Nicolet College, co-chair of the Earth Day Fair, which is coming up in just a few weeks here, Patrick. So we're on that that final stretch now, right? Yep. And I know we got to get through this Earth Day Fair, but is there already planning going on for next year? I'm curious.
Oh yeah, there's always
going on.
You know, things that we think of that might not work this year, but we get to kind of keep them ready for the upcoming year. Yeah,
well, that's exciting. And I know you mentioned too there's going to be a few speakers at the Lakeside Center at Nicolet on April 22nd. What are some of the speakers people could come and listen to?
Yeah, so yeah, we'll be in the Lakeside Center from 1 to 6 p.m. and so at the top of most hours we're going to have speakers available. So and the topics are going to be around water and in different capacities. So some of it's going to be water, you know, quality. Some of it's going to be related to, you know, like shoreline and the stewardship there. And then we will, you know, cover the topic of PFAS and get into that a little bit. So really trying to make sure that we hit a variety of water.
Wide array.
Yeah. And it's not just the speakers, it's also there'll be booths or exhibits up in place too, where you can learn about different parts of, you know, hydrology and water and conservation. Am I correct?
Absolutely, yeah. Okay. Yeah, we have vendors all throughout the building, you know, informational, different community organizations as well as businesses sharing their sustainability practices and yeah, just a really wide variety of community involvement. And then we're going to have activities for, you know, family-friendly activities available as well as food and music. So it's a really good time.
Can't go wrong with food and music.
Make it fun.
You do.
As we're talking about this, though, I'm thinking about the people who have, you know, kind of made this happen in the past, right? Where the stigma of conservation isn't really a stigma anymore. It's actually kind of in and hip.
At the forefront,
It's hip to think about the earth and the environment and to how much we use and recycle. And this is a great way to kind of get that message out there and have it be not political. It's not political. It's just a good way to take care of each other and the earth.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when it first started, it was, and I think the tagline was, you know, celebrating alternative, you know, sustainable-minded alternatives in the Northwoods. And now it's really, it's really become more mainstream, something that's a little bit more, you know, standard practice, something that everybody's interested in learning about. So it's been great to see that aspect develop.
Yeah, take off, right? And I think, to be honest with you, Patrick, I think Jeff and myself could learn a thing or two. So I want to be fully transparent with you. We decided to take a survey earlier today to kind of see what our carbon footprint would be. And the results are shall we say, not good.
Not good.
Not great. So essentially the survey would tell you how many Earths it would take to sustain your lifestyle if every single person on the planet lived the same way you do. So I found out that if there was 8 billion Nate Myhawks running around, we'd need 3.7 Earths, and we would run out of our resources in just a couple of days on April 8th. That doesn't seem great, Patrick. It's a little concerning, if I'm being honest.
We wouldn't get to the fair, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
But it gets worse.
It does. So brace yourself, Patrick, because I also made Jeff do the same exact survey, and Jeff's Earths, if you will, were a little concerning. Let's see if we can't pull up the next slide here, showing Jeff's stats.
Oh, look.
Jeff requires 6.5 Earths, and we'd be out of resources on February 25th. Jeff, we wouldn't even
we're
get
already out.
2 months.
Right. So now we're starving.
We'd run out of everything. So, not good.
Here's
Patrick.
the thing here, though.
Not
I
good.
was honest with this, right?
You saying I wasn't?
No, I'm saying you were, but I'm just saying I was also, which is scary because, like, I think of myself as someone who conserves where I can, but obviously not enough, right? So I think the message here is we could always do a little more. You know, although it takes 6.5 Earths to sustain me, that's embarrassing. I'm sorry, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
You know how you can work on it and get better?
How?
By going to the April 22nd Earth Day Fair at Nicolet College, right? So, Patrick, one more time before we let you go, where can people find more information, and what is going on the 22nd for the folks at home?
Yep, so April 22nd, come to Nicolet College for the Earth Day Fair between 1 and 6 p.m. We also have a website for the garden, who's presenting the fair at northwoodscommunitygarden.com, as well as if you search for Sustainability Northwoods, you're going to find the Earth Day Fair as well.
Perfect.
We love this.
We do.
Thank you.
We do. We love all the work you're doing, and hey, there's one Earth. Protect it. Be better. Don't use 6.5 Earths like Jeff. Thank you so much, Patrick, for coming on. We're going to take a break. Buffy joins us next. That's next on Up North at 4.
Asparagus, right?
Yes.
You're watching NBC 12 from where you live.
ELM Repair in Edgar is a family-owned and operated full-service diesel repair shop. From pickups to semi-trucks to heavy equipment and RV service. If it runs on diesel, we can repair it. Want more power and better mileage? Our experienced professionals will get your truck running and at peak performance. With a state-of-the-art dyno and fully stocked parts department, we can even come out to you with our 24-hour mobile repair service. ELM is always looking for passionate and talented people to join our team. The Diesel Doctor, have it done right the first time at ELM Repair.
Bassett Jewelers and Engraving in downtown Minocqua is a full-service traditional jewelry store offering a wide range of jewelry and gift items to fit any budget. Find jewelry from classic diamonds to beautiful colored gems and pearls, engagement rings and wedding bands for every style. Gift selections include jewelry travel cases, glassware, picture frames, and an extensive line of baby gifts. Bassett offers in-store jewelry repairs and engraving to personalize your gifts.
Bassett Jewelers and Engraving is proud to sponsor Buffy's Northwoods Kitchen.
Northland Basement Systems is the all things basementy company. Basement waterproofing, basement finishing, basement structural repair, humidity and mold control, and nasty crawl spaces too. When it comes to basement solutions, nobody does it better than we do. Since 1991, homeowners just like you in the Northland have trusted Northland Basement Systems for all things basementy in their homes. Call Northland Basement Systems today to schedule a free home evaluation.
People are always like, what's RETA short for? Mother Teresa. I'm a papertarian. It's like being a vegetarian, only I don't chew paper. I choose paper. Because it's made from a renewable resource, which means it's the smart choice for the environment. And I should know. I used to do science. How many times I gotta tell you?
I emptied it.
Empty, flatten, then recycle. I cannot with these interns.
I need this job.
NBC News Watch 12. News from where you live. Buffy's Northwoods Kitchen on Up North at 4 is brought to you by Bassett Jewelers and Engraving in Minocqua and Eagle River Cabinets in Rhinelander and Eagle River.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Buffy's Northwoods Kitchen.
On today's menu, we're going to be making quick pickled asparagus. And for the recipe, you're going to need a heavy canning jar, 1 bunch of cleaned snapped asparagus. We have 1.5 cups of water. We have 1 cup of white vinegar. We have 1 tablespoon of pickling salt. We have 2 teaspoons of sugar, and we have 1 tablespoon of pickling spice and 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric. And if you don't have turmeric, don't worry about it. We won't need it. And all you're going to do is just heat this up till everything dissolves, and then we'll be back. And now all we're going to do with our hot liquid, and it doesn't have to be boiling, we're just going to dump it in our canning jar with our asparagus. And then we're just gonna pop that lid on, let it cool to room temperature before you put it in the fridge. And put it in the fridge for maybe 4 or 5 days, and then you have pickled asparagus from Buffy's Northwoods Kitchen. Cook on, my friends.
Weather Watch 12 with Devin Biggs, 5 to 7 a.m.
Freshly mown grass and sounds of friends' laughter is in the air. You're ready to rock the summer, and so is Wickersham Jewelry during their annual Diamonds and Grill event, April 3rd through the 22nd. Give her the gorgeous ring she's been dreaming of. And get the Yeti Tundra, Yeti Hopper 8, or Traeger Grill you've always wanted with a qualifying purchase. Interest-free financing available. Wickersham Jewelry. If you can dream it, we can make it.
Hey there, I'm Lance Bass, and this is CHIP. And for more than 100 years, American Humane has been protecting animals in times of crisis. And if you're like me, your pet means the world to you, and you want to keep them safe if disaster strikes. American Humane's first responders are always prepared to rescue animals in danger, but you can also help. To learn more about disaster planning and keeping your animals safe, please visit AmericanHumane.org.
In Vietnam, a grenade took my ability to see. Today, I'm a sculptor. My victory is bringing beauty into the world.
DAV helps more than 1 million veterans every year. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
The new vehicle shortage is over at Brickner's Park City, Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, and Ram in Merrill. We have over 110 vehicles in stock or inbound for March delivery, with over 50 Jeeps available in all models, including plug-in hybrid Wranglers and Jeep Grand Cherokee. During Ram Truck Month at the Brickner's and Merrill lot, you will find over 35 Ram trucks available. Take advantage of low financing or huge lease rebates on Ram half-ton models and up to $3,000 in cash rebates on Ram heavy-duty models. There's always a whole lot of good going on at Brickner's Park City, Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, and Ram in Merrill.
I got a call from some scammer who had the nerve to ask for my Medicare number. I was not born yesterday.
When someone asked for my Medicare number in a text, I knew it was a scam. Nice catch.
And your mother knew it wasn't a real email. Go, Mom. I don't share my Medicare number with strangers.
If you get a call, text, or email asking for your Medicare or personal information,
delete.
Shut it down.
Nope.
Learn more at Medicare.gov/fraud.
The Newswatch 12 team works hard to deliver the most important stories from around the globe, local and national sports updates, and weather reports. NBC Newswatch 12. News from where you live. You're watching NBC 12 from where you live.
Alrighty, Jeff. I gotta say, I had a impressive light show outside of the window last night.
Isn't that amazing?
That was cool.
It was so cool because the ground is still snow covered, so it reflects off the snow. And it was just vivid lightning out there. And loud. It was so cool. A sign of spring for sure. We don't quite have the temperatures for spring yet, but like I showed you all earlier, next week we're talking 60s are in the forecast, and likely once they get here, not going to go away for a bit. So if we don't get an inch or two of snow tomorrow morning, we could be sitting at second second place for this year, and, you know, I don't know. I kind of want to break the record.
Second's not
but
bad. You'll remember a runner-up.
I want to think back 5 years and be like, remember that winner? And we broke the record, but it may not happen.
Nah, I don't need that. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow on Up North at 4.
Music every weekend, never a cover, and drinks priced right. TV, pool, darts, and more. It's Happy's Pub in downtown Woodruff.
Come to Carpet City Flooring Center's biggest sale ever and get free carpet installation on any area of your home, one room, or your entire house. Only at Carpet City Flooring Center's biggest sale.
Our prices will floor you.
The local water experts at Culligan can take care of everything but the kitchen sink. Actually, we do that too. Culligan.